Hi, I'm Brandon with the Vape Channel, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit today about what's been bugging me. And what's been bugging me is all the negative press that vaping has been getting. This is me giving it to you. I mean, just look at some of these articles. Investigation reveals e-cigarette smokers may inhale metal. Teen overdoses on e-cigarettes. E-cigarette vapor filled with cancer-causing chemicals. I mean, come on. I would hope that you, me, we as a society would by now take what the media tells us with a grain of salt. Have you seen the Jake Gyllenhaal movie Nightcrawler? Now, I'm not saying that Walter Cronkite goes out and stages murders for his stories. We all know that eye-catching headlines of doom and gloom is better than the run-of-the-mill electronic medical research. So not to name names or anything, but Dr. Oz, who has been against e-cigarette use, recently I think it was last June, was sent before Congress to testify about promoting products that are known not to work. And when asked, he was very apologetic, but the point still stands. These people, these media people, they're being paid to push or vilify any product. He was apologetic, but the point still stands that these people in the media, they're paid to promote or vilify products for anything to anybody that has enough money for them to do so. So is it any surprise to find out that the maker of Chantix, you know, the drug that's supposed to help you quit, the one with the huge list of side effects, hundreds of them, including suicidal thoughts, death, cancer, you know, that kind of stuff. Chantix is against e-cigarettes and is a huge sponsor of anti-cigarette research and ads. So I've had it with all the negative publicity out there, and I just wanted to put out my 2 cents on a couple of the articles that have been floating around on the internet lately. So the first article I wanted to talk about is this one: Teen overdoses with e-cigarette and Darth Vapor. Now this article from Mason County starts off with vilifying e-cigarettes, describes how this poor 19-year-old kid was vaping an e-cigarette, had a stroke, a seizure, and was airlifted out of the city to a nearby hospital. Now, what they don't mention until about 7 paragraphs down is that this particular 19-year-old teen was vaping an e-liquid that contained a synthetic cannabis. It's a synthetic cannabis. Like the spice and bath salts that were dominating our news about a year or so ago, you know, the ones where people were eating each other's faces in Florida. That's the one I'm talking about. So yeah, that minor detail, that was buried about 7 paragraphs down. So the second article I want to talk to you about today is this one about how e-cigarette smokers are inhaling metal.
The third.
Now, first of all, e-cigarette users are not smoking. It's that combustion process that is releasing the formaldehyde and the other toxins and that kind of stuff into your lungs. Now, vaping skips all that. It's just vaporizing water molecules. You're getting vapor, not smoke. Second of all, throughout this entire article, it does not mention once how somebody could actually possibly get metal into their lungs via vaping. The actual results from the experiment actually say that when and they don't say what it is, just some sort of e-cigarette, I'm assuming, is put on a centrifuge and spun and then heated up, that the solder actually comes off and got into the e-liquid. Now, what do I learn from that? If I'm taking a ride on a really large centrifuge, then maybe I should leave my e-cigarette at home. It might break your new mod. So, the last 2 articles I want to talk to you about today, both relating to the same thing. One of them is by NBC, and the title is Before You Vape, High Levels of Formaldehyde Hidden in Your E-Cigarette. The next one, e-cigarette vapor is filled with cancer-causing chemicals. Both of these articles are actually referring to the same, now infamous, experiment done where they took a single coil atomizer and they heated it up way past the amount of volts you would run through your most beastly mech mod. And then that charcoal remains, and it burnt. They tested the charcoal remains, and what do you know? It contained formaldehyde. So like I said before, it's actually the burning and the combustion process that actually releases the formaldehyde and other toxins into it. No one is going to crank up their mod way past that and then vape the burnt ashes. No, just like you're not gonna go home and you're not gonna put a steak on the grill and leave it all day and then eat the charcoal remains of the steak, because that actually would contain formaldehyde as well. While the second article, the one about the cancer-filling chemicals, actually does eventually mention this fact and the faults in the experiment, the nice one from NBC News fails to mention anything wrong with the experiment or any of the results or any of the processes at all. So thanks, NBC, way to get our back. So while there's very little that you and I can do to prevent the media from trying to force their negative messages down our throats, just please try and remember to take whatever you hear or read on the media with a grain of salt. Oh, and one last thing. As far as the claims that e-cigarettes are marketing to children, I leave you with this. Can adults like something that tastes good also? So thanks again for watching the Vape Channel. My name is Brandon. Make sure you like or subscribe or comment on this video. Only if it's good comments though. Bad comments will be deleted mercilessly. Thank you very much. Hope to see you again next week. Vape classy, Arizona.